rAmAnuja Namaha. Srinivasayati Shresthadeya Patram Gunanvitaha Kaushikoanantarangarya Shiram Vijetam Bhuvi Nyastatmiya Varam Varapradagulo Vairagya Bhagyo Dadau Vedanta Saramantavanaghata Shri Srinivasad Guroho Shri Shailanme Kaustubhasyatanayam Shreyonidhe Srinidhe Vande Sadhu Katakshakelilyam Shri Krishna Saddeshikam Shri Narayana Yogindra Varadari Kripashreyam Langeshapadavitam Srinivasa Munim Bhaje Vyasam Vasishthanaptaram Shakteh Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukadatam Taponidhim Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Tavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manasundadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Brahmane Namaha. Offering my pranamams to all Bhagavatas in this Goshti, I shall start today's class. In the last session, we had seen the first part of the shlokas and the bhashyam. We are supposed to see the bhashya for that. So I shall read the bhashya for the first part of the shlokas till the 11th shloka, starting from Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, up to Ayanesh Sarveshu, Yatha Bhagam Avasthitaha, Bhishmameva Abhirakshantu, Bhavanta Sarve Eva Hi. That is the 11th shloka, up to that. So the bhashya for that is Duryodhana Swayameva Bhimabhirakshitam Pandavanam Balam Atmiyam Cha Bhishmabhirakshitam Balam Avalokya Atma Vijaye Tasya Balasya Paryaptatam Atmiyasya Balasya Tad Vijaye Cha Aparyaptatam Acharyaya Nivedya Antarvishanno Bhavat. This is the bhashya. The meaning of this is Duryodhana Swayameva, by himself, Bhima Virakshitam Pandavanam Balam. The Pandavas' power, forces, which were protected by Bhima, Atmiyanja Bhishma Virakshitam Balam. His own power, forces, which were protected by Bhishma, Avalokya, having seen them, Atma Vijaye, for his own win, the victory, Tasya Balasya Paryaptatam, that is, winning over him, it was the sufficiency of the forces which are protected by Bhima. Tasya Balasya means the Bala which was protected by Bhima, its Paryaptatam, sufficiency. Atmiyasya Balasya Tadvijaye, that is, his own force to win over the Pandavas, it was Cha Aparyaptatam, insufficiency. He Acharyaya Nivedya, he tells that to his Acharya, and Antarvishanno Bhavat. And in his mind, he became grief stricken. He was very sorrow. He was filled with sorrow in his mind. So this is the bhashya. This is a very unique interpretation compared to any other commentary for this part of the Gita. So we have to understand why Bhagavad Ramanuja has given such a unique interpretation here. So we can go through some of the important aspects here to understand, because this is something very unique to our bhashya. Why Duryodhana, though we say this chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, according to Bhagavad Ramanuja, the person who got Vishada first was Duryodhana and not Arjuna. So Arjuna got it only later. So the first person to get Vishada is Duryodhana actually. So that is how Bhagavad Ramanuja interprets this part. So we will understand why the specific words are used in the Bhashya. So that is something which is we have to really enjoy to understand. If you go through the commentary, we can enjoy and understand how deeply Bhagavad Ramanuja is able to understand the situation, the various shlokas, the mindset of the various people there, and what is the real purport of all the shlokas and all that. So from that Bhashya, and we can understand the details which are, every word of the Bhashya is justified in Tatparya Chandrika. So some of these initial parts, let's go through to understand the beauty of Ramanuja Bhashya. Though there is no specific Siddhanta aspect here, in order to understand how well Bhagavad Ramanuja interprets and really understand the situation, and every word has got so much of meaning, Visheshartha, we can understand that. So here, if you see, the first aspect is Duryodhana uses, according to Bhagavad Ramanuja, Duryodhana is telling Bhima Virakshitam and Bhishma Virakshitam. So he uses Bhima and Bhishma as the names. He picks the names on the two sides as the main people. So why Bhima? Why Duryodhana thought of Bhima? You say Bhima was not the commander. Duryodhana was actually the commander, and Bhima is not an equal to Bhishma also in valor, because this is also known from Bhishma's own words. Bhishma says, Shaktoham dhanusha ekena nihantum sarva pandavan yadi yesham nabhaved gopta Vishnuhu karanapurusha. Only if Vishnu was not there to protect them, I am capable of killing all the Pandavas with just one arrow, he says. And Bhishma is not the head of the army also. Bhima is not the head of the Pandava army. Dharmaraja is the head. And Bhima is not thought of as the most valiant in Pandava army also. Generally, Arjuna is thought of as the most valiant. So for all these reasons, why should Duryodhana think of Bhima? And according to Tatparya Chandrika, why he thought of Bhima was, he always remembers Bhima's pratigna. Bhima was Samasta Dhartarashtra Vadha Dikshita. He had taken a vow that he will kill all the Dhritarashtra's sons. So that was always in his mind. And that is why he mentions Bhima. And why should he mention Bhishma as a person who is against Bhima here? Because of one more reason, that Bhishma was always on the side of Pandavas. Samasta Pandutanaya Samrakshana Pravana, it says in the Bhashya. So he was always interested in protecting the Pandavas. So these are all the reasons why it is justified that Bhima Virakshitam and Bhishma Virakshitam. That is the reason why these names are specifically used, is what we can understand from the. So the shloka is also very Paryaptam Tadasmakam Balam Bhishma Virakshitam. Paryaptam Tudametesham Balam Bhima Virakshitam. When he uses Bhima and Bhishma, these could be the reasons why these names are used. And Duryodhana, from this itself, it becomes clear that Duryodhana had fear of the opponents, and also a doubt that his own commander might help them in some way, because he was Samasta Pandutanaya Samrakshana Pravana, who was Bhishma. So he also had that kind of a doubt, it looks like. And that made him also think that his own army was not sufficient to win over the Pandavas. And there are many other clear indications also to say that Duryodhana became Antarvishanna. He was really grief-stricken. Though Duryodhana's army was 11 Akshauhinis and Pandavas was only 7, he calls theirs as Mahatim Chamum, which you can see in the shloka. Mahatim Chamum, he says, when he talks about Pandava's army, though it was much less than his own. And he talks about the opponent commander, Tava Shishyena Dhimata, Drishtadyumna. He gives a special adjective to him. And he starts the description of the Pandavas army with Atra Shura Maheshwasaha Bhima Arjuna Samaha. Everybody is equal to Bhima and Arjuna. Sarvaeva Maharathaha. And he mentions 20 names of opponent warriors. And he does not describe any of his own army. His own army he doesn't describe, like he said, Mahatim Chamum for Pandava's army. He does not describe his own commander. And he just mentions 7 names from his sides. And others were casually, as a matter of factly manner, in a matter of factly manner, Anyecha Bahavaha Shuraha. Also there are many other like that. So he mentions like that. And when he talks about his army, he says Madarthe Tyakta Jivitaha, and he doesn't say Vijigishavaha. They have come to win here for me the war. He doesn't say. They have come here to give their lives, he says. And it is also said later on, the next part of the shloka, that Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham Kururuddah Pitamaha. So when that shloka says Sanjanayan Harsham, that means, that shows very clearly that before that Duryodhana was filled with grief. And in the end, it says, the Ghosho Dhartarashranam Hridayani Vyadaret. And Duryodhana's fear for Pandavas is also known elsewhere in Mahabharata. There is a shloka where he talks about how he is scared of Arjuna, Akaradini Namani, Arjuna Trasta Chetasa. He says, the words starting with Akara itself makes me, tremble with fear, because I am really scared of Arjuna, he says. So these are all indications that if you see the Tatparya, Prakarana Tatparya, as we call it, there are the Tatparya of a particular Prakarana is decided based on various things, Upakramopasamharo, Abhyaso, Purvata, Phalam, and Arthavadopapatti cha Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye, they say. These are all the Shadvida Lingas, which we say, these are all the signs which help one. Upakrama, Upasamhara, that is, in the starting and in the ending, that particular topic should be mentioned, and there should be many times in between it must be coming, and all those things. There are 6 signs which describe how to decide the Tatparya of a particular Prakarana, that is a particular chapter or a section, etc. So in this section, why Bhashyakara has actually said Duryodhana Antarvishana, Duryodhana became Antarvishana, he became filled with grief, is in the Upakrama, he is describing the opponent's army, that is in the start, its commander, all the important leaders, about 20 leaders. Upasamhara, there is the mere sound of the conch, is a Hridaya Sanshobha Vachana is there, that is Hridayani Vyadaret. So their aspirations are all broken, he says. And in the middle, Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham is there. That means he is to bring in cheer. That means he was actually filled with grief, you can understand from that. So all these things will say that the Prakarana Tatparya, that it is fully justified by Bhashyakara has said that Duryodhana became Antarvishana. So the meaning of, from this, because of this Duryodhana becoming Antarvishana, the meaning of Tada Aparyaptam Tadasmakam is decided. And there is one more reason, that Tat Asmakam. Here, if you see the shloka, Aparyaptam Tadasmakam Balam, Tat Asmakam Balam. So when you generally use Tatu in the sense of that, you are talking about something which is at a distance from you. Whereas Duryodhana is talking about his own forces. So when he uses the word Tatu for describing his force, Tatu Asmakam. Tatu cannot mean that. So Bhashyakara says Tatu means Tasmat, for that reason. So that is how it has to be interpreted. That's why Tatu Asmakam will be the proper usage for that. And so, and also there is another other reasons like Drishtva tu Pandavanikam. He saw Drishtva tu. The word tu has a lot of meaning there. By looking at itself, he says Drishtva tu Pandavanikam. Pashyaitam, he says Yetesham. So all these words also say that he is directly seeing the opponent army. So that is also a reason why Tatu, the word Tatu has to be described as given the meaning of Tasmat. So that is, so these are all justified. If you see how well every single word in the Bhashya makes a lot of sense, it has got a lot of Vishesharthas, though it looks like a small one sentence is describing the entire situation. Every word is having very special meanings you can understand from the. And there could be another objection that why Duryodhana. So all other commentators says that there is no reason why Duryodhana should be filled with grief. Nobody will go and describe opponent's army like that. Though there are signs like Bhishma says, Nabhetavyam Maharaja. That is all to give assurance to Duryodhana, and not because Duryodhana did not have grief. So these are all justified by Bhashyakara, all these things, when he says in the Bhashya that Duryodhana Antarvishanno Abhavat. And Duryodhana had directly seen the capability of Pandavas on many occasions, such as Gograhana, where Arjuna had defeated all the warriors, Bhishma, Drona, and the entire lot of leaders during that incident. And his own Swagrahana Prakarana, that is in the Gandharvas, when he goes to the forest, he was caught by a Gandharva, and Arjuna comes and releases him from that Gandharva. So Duryodhana does remember all these things. So the tu in the shloka, Drishtva tu, is actually explained, keeping all this in mind, that Duryodhana had really had fear, and the meaning of Paryapta and Aparyapta has to be taken as sufficient and not sufficient, and that is how Duryodhana, and because of that reason, Duryodhana became Antarvishanna. That means he was filled with grief in his mind. So this is how the Vyakhyana Parampara, if you see how the commentators are able to understand and explain the exact situation and the meaning of the Mula Shlokas, what is meant, the real Tatparya of the Mula Shlokas, and all those things. So that is how the Paryaptam and Aparyaptam, which is very unique to our Bhashyam, is explained here. And going to the next part of the shlokas, 12 to 19, they have got, for all these shlokas put together, there is one part of the Bhashya. So let us go through these shlokas, 12 to 19. 12th shloka is Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham Kuruvruttaha Pitamaha Simhanadam Vinadyo Uchaihi Shankham Dadmo Pratapavan. Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham. In order to bring cheer to Duryodhana, Kuruvruttaha Pitamaha, the Vruddha Pitamaha of Kurus, that is Bhishma, the Kuru dynasty, he is Pitamaha, he is like grandfather, and Simhanadam Vinadya Uchaihi, he made a powerful roaring, he roared like a lion powerfully, he roared powerfully like a lion. Simhanadam Vinadya Uchaihi Shankham Dadmo Pratapavan, he also blew his conch, and he is Pratapavan, he is the valiant leader of the Kauravas. Tataha Shankhascha Bhairyascha Panamanaka Gomukhaha Sahasa Abhyahanyanta Sashabdaha Tumulo Bhavat. And then thereafter, after Bhishma made the roaring sound of like a lion, and he blew his conch, all the other lot of drums and small drums, kettle drums and various instruments, they all were horns and all those things. Gomukha is horn. So Sahasa Abhyahanyanta, they were all suddenly, immediately and simultaneously, they were all sounded. And Sashabdaha Tumulo Bhavat, created a huge tumultuous atmosphere there. All these sounds combined together created a tumultuous atmosphere there. And Tata Shvetaihi Hayaihi Yukte Mahatis Yandane Sthitau Madhavaha Pandavaschaiva Divyo Shankho Pradadmatuhu. Then Shvetaihi Hayaihi Yukte Mahatis Yandane Sthitau. The huge, the great chariot, Mahatis Yandane, great chariot, which had Shvetaihi Hayaihi, white horses. It was yoked by white horses. There they were Sthitau, situated there. Madhavaha Pandavaschaiva. Madhava, that is Krishna, and Pandava, Arjuna. Pandavaschaiva. Divyo Shankho Pradadmatuhu. Divyo means it was something like Aprakrita, and it was Divya, and conchal, they sounded their Pradadmatuhu. So the Prakarshena Dadmatuhu, the Upasarga Pra says that they powerfully blew their conchals. That's what it says. Panchajanyam Hrishikeshaha Devadattam Dhananjayaha Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha. So Hrishikesha's, that is Krishna's conch is called Panchajanya, which is famous, and Devadatta. Devadatta is a conch, the name of the conch of Dhananjaya, that is Arjuna, and Poundram Dadmau Mahashankam Bhimakarma Rukodaraha. The conch by name Poundra was blown by Mahashanka. It is a very huge conch, and Bhimakarma, that is one who is known for fearful acts. Bhimakarma Rukodaraha. Rukodara is Bhima. He is Bhimakarma. He is known for fearful acts, great Herculean tasks. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putraha Yudhishthiraha. Yudhishthira's conch is called Ananta Vijaya. Ananta Vijaya, the name itself suggests that there is no end to victory. That means he always keeps winning. It never ends, his victory. So Ananta Vijaya is the name of his conch. And Kunti Putraha Yudhishthiraha. Nakulaha Sahadevascha Sughosha Manipushpaka. Sughosha and Manipushpaka are the names of the conch shells of Nakula and Sahadeva. Kashyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharathaha Drishtadyumnaha Viratascha Satyaki cha Aparajitaha. So Kashya and the king of Kashi and Parameshwasaha, that means he had a great bow. Ishwasa is Dhanus. Shikhandi cha Maharatha. Shikhandi, who was a Maharatha. Drishtadyumna and Virata. All these people blew their Satyakishcha. Satyaki is given an adjective Aparajitaha. That means he can never be defeated. Aparajitaha Satyaki. Drupadaha Draupadeyascha. Drupada, the king of Panchala, and sons of Draupadi, and Sarvasha Prithvi Pate, Saubhadraha. Saubhadra is Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra. And Abhimanyuscha Mahabahu. Shankhan Dathmuhu Prithak Prithak. So all these people blew their own conch shells separately, one after the other. Prithak Prithak. That is Saghoshaha Dhartarashtranam Hridayani Vyadaret. This blowing of their all the conch shells one after the other, Prithak Prithak, and all with their great conch shells, which are all quite famous and well known. By the sound itself, we can distinguish who is actually blowing the particular conch shell. All these sounds, to one after the other, which were sounded, Dhartarashtranam, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Hridayani Vyadaret. It pierced through all their minds, that is, it shattered all their hearts. And Nabhascha Prithivin Chaiva Tumulaha Vyanunadayan. And this particular uproarious sound, which was resounding and echoing and booming, it filled the entire sky and the earth, the whole earth. Nabhascha Prithivin Chaiva Tumulaha Vyanunadayan. It echoed and boomed all over the entire world and filled all the skies. So that is these are all the shlokas. We have seen the general meaning of the shlokas. Now we can see the bhashya part for these shlokas. Tasya vishadamalakshya bhishmaha tasya harsham janaitum simhanadam shankadhanam cha krutva shankabheri ninadaischa vijayashamsinam ghosham cha akarayat. Tasya vishadamalakshya. So Bhashyakara is very clear that he had Vishada, Duryodhana, seeing him being grief-stricken, Bhishmaha tasya harsham janayitum, in order to create cheer to Duryodhana. Shankanadam, Simhanadam, Shankadhanam cha krutva. He made Simhanada and also sounded his conch. Shankabheri ninadaihi cha, Shankabheri, and all these by their sounds. Vijaya Abhishamsinam Ghosham cha Akarayate. Vijaya Abhishamsinam. That means that which is the hope of winning. That means that which is like sounding, winning. So all these sounds, the Shankabheri Ninada and Simhanada, his own Shankadmana, they were all sounding as though they were announcing that he is going to win. So that kind of a sound he made. Ghosham cha Vijaya Abhishamsinam Ghosham cha Akaret. Tataha tam ghosham akarnya. After that, hearing that particular all these noise, all these sounds, Sarveshwareshwaraha Parthasarathi. So Bhashyakara says here, Sarveshwareshwara is the Ishvara of all the Ishvaras also. Parthasarathi, that is Krishna. Rathicha Pandataneyaha. Arjuna, who was the Rathi, Trailokya Vijayopakarana Bhute Mahati Syandane Sthitau. So in the Mula shloka it says Mahati Syandane Sthitau. Bhashyakara gives a very special adjective here. Trailokya Vijayopakarana Bhute. It was like an instrument with which you can win over all the three worlds. It was a means to win over all the three worlds. Trailokya Vijaya Upakarana Bhute. Upakarana for winning all the three worlds. Mahati Syandane Sthitau. That great chariot, they were being seated there. Trailokyam Kampayantau. As if they were making all the three worlds tremble with fear. Srimad Panchajanya Devadattau. Divyau Shankau Pradadhmatuhu. Srimad Panchajanya and Devadatta, these Divya Shankas, they made powerful sounds. Pradadhmatuhu. Tataha Yudhishthiro Vrukodara Swakiyana Shankana Prithak Pradadhmuhu. Yudhishthira, Vrukodara and all these people, their own conches, they sounded Prithak Pradadhmuhu. They made powerfully blew their conches, one after the other. And Saghoshaha Duryodhana Pramukhanam Sarveshameva Bhavat Putranam Hridayani Vibheda. That sound, Duryodhana Pramukhanam, Duryodhana and others, Sarveshameva Bhavat Putranam. This is a very special word used by Bhashyakara. Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra that all your sons, Sarvesham Bhavat Putranam eva, Sarvesham eva Bhavat Putranam Hridayani Vibheda. It pierces through the hearts of. So what is the meaning of piercing through the hearts of the Dhartarashtras? He is Adyaiva Nashtam Kurunam Balamiti Dhartarashtra Menire. That is the meaning of Hridayani Vibheda. Today itself we have lost all our power. Kurunam Balam Adyaiva Nashtam Iti Dhartarashtra Menire. Sons of Dhritarashtra thought that we already lost all our forces. Evam Tad Vijaya Abhikankshini Dhritarashtraya Sanjaya Akathayat. Evam, in this way, Tad Vijaya Abhikankshini, that is, Dhritarashtra was thinking that, that Duryodhana is going to win. So he was Akankshe. He had an expectation that Duryodhana is going to win, and Sanjaya is going to tell him about that. And the person, Dhritarashtra, who had that kind of an aspiration that he will, by some way, he is going to win, that Dhritarashtraya Sanjaya Akathayate. Sanjaya told him. So here, some special interpretations, the Vishesharthas for this Bhashya is, says here, the Mula Shloka says, Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham. Sanjanayan. So that is creating kind of increasing or Sanjanayan, causing kind of thing. Here it says Janayitum in the Bhashya. Harsham Janayitum, in order to bring in order to create cheer, in order to bring in cheer. So Janayitum, Sanjanayan, that Janayan is a Shatru Pratyaya, Lakshana Hetvoho Kriyayaha, there is a Attadhyaya Sutra. So it shows it is used in the Hetvartha Suchana, that is the Karana. Hetu is the Karana. Janayitum is the Bhashya for that. So Deshika explains each and every word with proper pramanas and all that. Why only this word has been interpreted like this by Bhashyakara and all that. And when he says Sarveshwareshwaraha Parthasarathi, Sarvodkrushtebhyaha, here we have to understand the word Parthasarathi. Sarveshwareshwaraha Parthasarathi. That is, Krishna is, this is equal, the known from the word Madhava and Rishikesha in the Mula. That is, these are the two words used, Madhava and Rishikesha, if you see there. And Parthasarathi, Sarveshwareshwaraha. Sarveshwareshwara shows his Paratva. Parthasarathi shows his Saulabhya. Sarveshwareshwara means Sarvotkrushtebhyaha Utkrishtaha Paramapurushaha. he is greater than the greatest of the whoever is found here. So sarvotkrushtebhyaha, those who are utkrishta, that is great people, from all of them, compared to all of them, he is utkrishta, he is sarveshwareshwara, paramapurusha. And he became Partha Sarathi. Partha is Arjuna, who is a mere like a human, and his Sarathi. So Bhashya says, Nikrishtat, the Tatparya Chandrika says, Nikrishtat Manushyamatradapi. That is, the Manusya Janma itself is Nikrishta. And within that Manusya Janma, Nikrishtatam, Nikrishtat Manushyamatradapi Nikrishtatam. Partha Sarathi, he not only became a human, he also took over the role of Sarathi. So Partha Sarathi says, Nikrishtat Manushyamatradapi Nikrishtatam. Why he did that? Ashrita Vatsalyena Nitaha iti bhavaha. So Ashrita Vatsalya, that is what is the reason for him taking on such roles. That's what is. So, and Mahati Syandane Sthitau Madhavaha Pandavascheva. So Pandava Vijay Suchanaya Sanjayena Upattaha Madhava Shabdaha Atra Shriyah Patitva Vachi Sarveshwareshwa Paratva Eva. So the Madhava Sanjaya says, Mahati Sindhane Sthito Madhavaha Pandavascheva. The word Madhava is the Suchaka of Sarveshwareshwara. Why Bhashyakara used Sarveshwareshwara? Because Madhava stands for Shriyapati, and Shriyapati is Paramapurusha, he is Sarveshwareshwara. And Trilokyam Kampayantau, Bhashyakara says, Trilokyam Kampayantau. That is, the Mula Shloka says, Mahati Syandane Sthitau. They were just situated in the, how can they make the three worlds tremble? Just by being situated in the chariot. So the Tatparya Chandrika says, why Bhashyakara used the word Trilokyam Kampayantau? Tayoho Syandane Sthitimatram api Trilokya Kampana Hetu. If Arjuna and Krishna are just together sitting in a chariot, that is sufficient to make three worlds tremble. So that is why Bhashyakara uses Trilokyam Kampayantau and Divyo Shankau Pradadmatuhu, and these Nabhasya Prithivim Chaiva Anunade, all these things are also understood from this Kampayantau. It could be also because of their Divya Shankas, which they Prakarshena Dadmatuhu, they blew with powerful blowing of their conches, and which filled all the skies and worlds, Nabhasya Prithivim Chaiva Venunaden. So that could also be a reason for Kampayantau from the sounds. Or just by being there itself, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanuddhara, like that. If they are just situated in one chariot, that itself enough for Trilokyam Kampayantau. That is also the meaning. Sarvesham eva bhavatputranam hridayani bibheda. So here, Bhashyakara gives a special meaning here. For the Chakara, he uses eva here. So Sarvesham eva bhavatputranam hridayani bibheda. That means Dhartarashtranam eva hridayani bibheda. Anyesham tu harsha heturabhutu iti bhavaha. So for others it was actually a source of joy, all the sounds which they made. Prithak prithak shankam pradadmu. Whereas for Dhartarashtras, it was hridayani bibheda. It pierced through their hearts. That's what it means. So there was, and all of your sons, Sarvesham eva bhavatputrana. That means all of your sons, is Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra. That means there was not even one who had strong mind among all the sons of Dhritarashtra. All of them were scared and felt sad. Is also implied here by the word Sarvesham eva bhavatputrana. And Hridayani bibheda, the meaning of that is Adyaiva nashtam kurunam badamiti Dhartarashtra menire. So Swabalasya Vijayitvam Atyavasyatam Tan Nasha Buddhireva Hridaya Vedaha. So whatever they were anticipating that they might win, all their expectations, their plan, their hopes, they were all shattered by when they heard all these sounds and saw Arjuna and Krishna sitting together in one chariot. So evam Sanjayaha akhatayat. Tad apajaya suchakameva Sanjayaha akhatayat itya. That means Sanjaya only told him that they are going to lose. Evam Sanjayaha akhatayat in the Bhashya has a lot of meaning. Like this he told means like this is told that they are going to lose is what is actually the meaning. Apajaya Suchaka it is. So Dhritarashtra had an inner desire to hear good things about his son Duryodhana, and he asked the question indirectly to Sanjaya, hoping that somewhere he will tell him that he is on the way, he is going to win or something like that. And Sanjaya also gives a description with a hidden meaning of how Duryodhana and others were already on way to losing the war. So this is how the meanings are interpreted, and the shloka, Mula shloka gives this kind of a tatparya. So that is how every word in the Bhashya makes a lot of sense, and we can understand from Tatparya Chandrika how significant each and every word which Bhashyakara uses in the Bhashya. Let's move on to the next part of the shlokas, that is the Bhashya. There is a Bhashya for shlokas 20 to 25. Athavyavasthitan drishtva dhartarashtraन् kapidvajaha pravrutte shastra sampate dhanurudyamya pandavaha. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva. Vyavasthitan means they were all positioned in various formations, vyuha formations. So then after seeing all the forces which were positioned with their proper formations in the vyuha formations, drishtva dhartarashtraन्, the sons of Dhritarashtra, kapidvajaha. Kapidvaja is Arjuna who had Hanuman in his flag. Kapidvaja. Pravrutte shastra sampate. So shastra sampate pravrutte. The war has started where all the weapons are going to be used, deployed. So that when shastra sampate going to about to start, dhanuhu vudyamya. He lifted his bow high. Vudyamya. He lifted his bow high, and Pandavaha, that is son of Pandu, Arjuna, he tells Krishna, Rishikesham tadavakyam Arjuna uvacha, Rishikesham tadavakyam idamaha mahipate. O King Dhritarashtra, Arjuna told Rishikesha, Krishna, tadavakyam idamaha. He told these words, Seneyoho uvayoho madhye ratam sthapayame achyuta. O Achyuta, position my chariot in the middle, Senayoho Bhayoho Madhye, between the two armies, you position my chariot. Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan. Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan. As long as I see all of them, and those who are yodhukaman, those who are desirous of fighting, avasthitan, they are all arranged here, formed in various formations in the battlefield. Kairmaya sahayodhavyam, with whom by me I have to fight together. And asmin ranasamudyame, in this samudyama, ranasamudyama is samarambha, ranasamarambha, this occasion of war. Yotsyamanan aveksheham yayete tra samagataha. Those who are yodhum ichuhu, yotsyamana, those who are to fight, who are here, will be fighting here. Aveksheham, that is, I will see them. Yayete atra samagataha, those who have come and assembled here. Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priyachikirshavaha. Dhartarashtra is the son of Dhritarashtra, who is Duryodhana. Durbuddhehe Dhartarashtrasya, evil-minded, the evil-minded Duryodhana. For him, yuddhe priyachikirshavaha, they are interested in pleasing him and doing good to him. So they have come and assembled here. I want to see all of them, so that as long as I see properly. So in this Bhashya, there are 3 sentences. So the first sentence is up to the shloka 23, that is yuddhe priyachikirshavaha, up to this part. So let's read the Bhashya. Atha yuyutsun avasthitan dhartarashtraन् drishtva lankadahana vanaradhvajaha pandutanayaha jnana shakti balaishwarya virya tejasam nidhim swasankalpakrita vibhava layalilam rishikesham paravara निखिल जन आंतर बाह्य करणानां सर्वप्रकार नियमने अवस्थितम् आश्रित वात्सल्य विवशतया स्वसारथ्ये अवस्थितम् युयुत्सून् यथावदवेक्षितुं तदीक्षणक्षमे स्थाने रथं स्थापया इति अचोदयत् अथ युयुत्सून् अवस्थितान् those who have come to wage the war, who have been come and assembled here in various formations, Dhartarashtrana, all the Dhritarashtra's sons, Drishtva, having seen them, Lankadhana Vanaradhvajaha Pandutaneha, Arjuna Kapidhvajaha, Bhashyakara gives a very special adjective here. It's not Kapitva, is not ordinary Kapi, Lankadhana Vanaradhvajaha, who was famous for his adventure of burning Lanka, and he is none other than Hanuman, and who was having Hanuman in his dvaja, Pandutaneha, Arjuna. Jnana Shakti Balaishwarya Virya Tejasam Nidhim, all Shatgunyopeta, Jnana Shakti Balaishwarya Virya Tejas, all these, one who was the board of all these Shatgunas, and Swasankalpa Krita Vibhavalaya Leelam, with his own will, who does Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, all these things. Rishikesha, Paravara Nikhilajana Antara Bhakhya Karananam Sarvaprakara Niyamane Avasthitam. And Rishikesha is Para and Avara, all the lowly people, and then all the Mahatmas, our Paras, and all those peoples, Nikhila Jana, the entire world, all of them, Antara Bhakhya Karananam, internal and external sense organs. Antara is Manas, internal sense organ. Bhakhya Karanas are external sense organs. All these organs of everyone, Sarva Prakara Niyamane Avasthitam. He was controlling all the sense organs, internal and external sense organs, in all manners, Sarva Prakara, in every aspect he was controlling. And Ashrita Vatsalya Vivashataya, and such a person who was controlling the internal and external sense organs of everyone, Parar, Avara, whoever it is, and such a great person, Ashrita Vatsalya Vivashataya, because of his great Ashrita Vatsalya, and those who take refuge in him, he will do anything for them. And he Swasarathye Avasthitam, such a great person was now doing his own Sarathya. He was a charioteer for him. Yuyutsune Yatavad Avekshitum. So such Rishikesha, he told Arjuna, he says, Yuyutsune Yathavat Avekshitum. So here, Yavadetan Niriksheham. Niriksheham is interpreted by Bhashyakaras Yathavat Avekshitum. That means properly seeing, properly all of them. Tadikshanakkshame sthane. So that in a place where I can properly see them. Such a place, Ratham Sthapaya iti Achotayate. Go and position my Ratha iti Achodayate. Bhashyakara says Achodayate. That is like in yoga, that is order. He ordered him, he says, Bhashyakara in the Bhashya. So here the special meanings of this Bhashya, some of the special meanings we can enjoy. Kapidhvajaha. To remove that the ordinary meaning of Kapitva, normally Kapitva is associated with Laghava, Chapalya and all that. So in the Mula Shloka, when it says Kapidhvaja, it doesn't just imply a normal meaning of Kapitva, but Bhashyakara says Lankadahana Vanaradhvajaha. So Hanuman had given a boon during Saugandhika Pushpa Prakarana that he will be sitting on the flag. So he was present in his Swarupa itself, and just by seeing his Swarupa, it could cause utter fear in his enemies, and which actually did happen to all the Rakshasas during the Ramayana, during the war. So such Hanuman was sitting, Sakshat, he was sitting in the Dhwaja of Arjuna. So that is indicated by Kapidhvaja, Lankadahana Vanaradhvajaha. So it is also an indication of the winning of the Pandavas. Lankadahana Vanaradhvajaha. Jnana Shakti Balaishwarya Virya Tejasam Nidhim. This gives the meaning of Achyuta. That is, it shows Aprachyuta Swabhavatva. His Swabhava is never gets chuti, that is never damaged or tainted or changed. And such a person, Achyuta, is given as Jnana Shakti Balaishwarya Virya Tejasam Nidhim. This can also be taken to mean Rishikesha, Srishti, Virya, and others, and also Jnana, which is indicated. Rishikesha has a special meaning, the word Rishikesha. And Deshika quotes from Ahirbudnya Samhita, where it says, Kridaya Hrishyati Vyaktam Ishaha San Srishti Rupaya Rishikeshatvam Ishatvam Devatvam Cha Asya Tatsputam Avikaritaya Jushtaha Rishiko Virya Rupata Ishaha Swatantriya Yogena Nityam Srishtyadi Karmani Aishwarya Virya Rupatvam Rishikeshatvam Uchyate. So the Nirukti for Rishikesha, the word Rishikesha, is given in Ahirbudya Samhita. Kridaya Hrishyati Vyaktamishasam Srishti Rupaya. Srishti Rupaya Kridaya Hrishyati. So Rishikesha is he gets happiness by the Kride, that is, it's like a sport for him, Srishti Rupaya Kridaya. And Rishikeshatvam Ishatvam Devatvam Cha Asya Tatsputam. So Rishikesha has got all the Rishikeshatva, Ishatva, Devatva, all are there. Diva Kridayam shows the word Devatva. Ishatva is by his own Sankalpa, Swatantriya, he is controlling everyone. Avikaritaya Jushtaha Rishiko Virya Rupaya. So Virya is Vikara Virho Viryam Visa. So Avikaritaya, he never gets changed. There is no Vikara in his Swarupa, Swabhava or anything. And Ishaha Swatantra Prayogena Nityam Srishtya Adikarmani. So Srishti and other things he does out of his Swatantriya. So he is called Isha. And Aishwarya Virya Rupatam Shrikeshatvam Uchyate. Aishwarya Virya. Also from this you can also infer Jnana, which is required for Srishti and other things. So Jnana Shakti Balaishwarya Virya Tejasam Nidhim can also be taken to mean Rishikesha, the word Rishikesha here. So in the Bhashya, we can see that Bhashyakara uses Jnana Shakti Balaishwarya Virya Tejasam Nidhim Swasankalpakata Vibhavalaya Leelam. So these two adjectives can be taken as for Achyuta or Rishikesha as indicated here. And Achyuta can also be taken as Ashrita Vatsalya Vivashaha, because that he can also say that Ashrita Vatsalya Vivashataya Swasaratye Avasthitam. That is Ashritan na Chavayati Ataha Achyutosya Nasti. So Ashritan na Chavayati. That's why he is called Achyuta. One who takes refuge in him, he will never allow them to perish. So that is also can be the meaning of Achyuta. So all these things can be taken as why Bhashyakara uses these special adjectives in this part of the Bhashya. And this is shown from Ashrita Vatsalya Vivashataya. Swasarathye Avasthitam. So this is being Rishikesha, says Rishikesham Swasarathye Avasthitam. That means Paravara Nikhila Jana Antara Bhakya Karananam Sarva Prakara Niyamane Avasthitam. Rishika is Indriyas. When he is controlling Rishika, Isha means he is the lord of all the Indriyas. Rishikesha is, that is the meaning. Rishika means Indriyas, sense organ. So when he is doing the controlling Niyamana of all the Paravaras, the entire Nikhila Jana, Antara and Bhakya, Indriyas, of everyone in all aspects, and it is no big job for him to control his chariot and horses. So Swasarathye Avasthitam. That can also be understood here by the two words that Nikhila, Paravara Nikhila Jana Antara Bhakya Karananam Sarva Prakara Niyamane Avasthitam and Ashrita Vatsalya Vivataya Swasarathye Avasthitam. These two can be taken as to mean like that. And he says Yavadetan Nirikshayaham. The meaning of the Upasarga here, Nirikshe, Yavadetan Nirikshayaham is in the Mula Shloka. Nirikshe, Ni is an Upasarga here. Nirikshayaham is, for the word Upasarga Ni, Bhashyakara interprets as Yathavat. Yathavat Avekshitum. Nirikshe is interpreted as Yathavat Avekshitum. That means Yavat can stands for two meanings. One is Sakalya, that is completely in totality, the meaning of totality. Yavadetan, I will see all of them. It can also mean Kalavachi, as long as I see everyone. Yavadetan Nirikshayam. Yathavat Avekshitum. you ratam sthapaya. That's what he says. And yuyutsuna yathavat avekshitum. So here there is a special meaning here. If you see the Bhashya, that starts with atha yuyutsuna avasthitan dhartarashtra, and here again yuyutsuna yathavat avekshitum. The word yuyutsun is repeated here. So is it kind of a punarukti or something? We may get a doubt. Why Bhashyakara uses this word again here? First having told yuyutsuna avasthitan, yuyutsuna yathavat avekshitum. So here it is not simply used by Bhashyakara, but there is a special meaning here. Yuyutsuna yathavat avekshitum. Initially he generally saw atha yuyutsuna avasthitan dhartarashtra. Now yavadetan avekshitum means yathavat avekshitum means he wants to make sure each and every person he wants to see who is there, and also have a plan how to handle each one of them. That means how to show them the way out and from this war. So that is what Arjuna wanted to really see, and having seen the beginning, having seen the beginning signs, that as the conch sounding and all that, the war has started, is about to start. He wanted to see them from the point of view of knowing the most suitable way to handle each one of them. So yavadetan yutsune yatavad avekshitum, he says. Yaihi, and also there are in the shloka there is kair maya saha yodhavyam. That is yaihi saha maya yodhavyam. He did not say maya saha yaihi yodhavyam. He did not say who is going to fight with me. He said with whom I am going to fight. That is why the next shloka says yotshyamanan. So that is otherwise it would not have come as yotshyamanan. So that is a interpretation here, and it also shows pradhanya. With whom I have to fight means the pradhanya is for Arjuna, and that is also indicated here, which we can learn from Tatparya Sindrika. And says dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe. Since yotshyamanan is already told, and is it not again punarukti if you say? That is also not true, because dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe means this is to highlight the evil deeds of Duryodhana and others. So again that is why it is told. Yuyutsun, if you say, in that dhartarashtra is already included, all the dhartarashtras are included, Yuyutsun. Why it should be specifically told as dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe in the shloka? Means it is to highlight the evil deeds of Duryodhana and others. These words are again used in the shloka. And Arjuna said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye. That can be interpreted also as Kair Maya Sahayodhavyam, can also be interpreted as people on his own side. Kair Kaihi Maya Sahayodhavyam, with whom on my side I have to fight. And the next shloka may mean the opposite army. Yuyutsun. So that way also we can interpret that way. Tadikshana kshame sthane. For senayor ubhayor madhye, Bhashyakara says, Tadikshana kshame sthane, place where he can see them clearly. That is what is the meaning. Sthapaya. Sthapaya is actually a very special meaning here. Sthapaya means achodayat. Bhashyakara uses. This is very special here. This means niyoga. Achodayat. Chodana is niyoga. That is like vidhi, agnya, which we see in the Vedas and all. So achodayat Bhashyakara uses here. Such a great person, Rishikesha, Achyuta, Madhava, all these we have seen. Jnana Baleshwarya Virya Tejasam Nidhim, Swasankalpakta Vibhava Layalilam, Paravara Nikhila Jana Antara Bhakhyakarananam, Sarvaprakaraṇiyamane Avasthitam. Such a great person, because of Ashrita Vatsalya Vivashatya, Swasaratya Avasthitam. For him, he says Achodayat, Sarvaprashasita. The Shruti says Prashasitaram Sarvesham Aniyam Samiyasam. So he became a Niyojya. What an Ashcharya. Bhashyakara is actually here. It's Achodayat, Ratam Sthapayati Achodayat. He says, what is this? What is this happening? What an Ashcharya that Achodayat, the Ashcharya that Krishna, who is Sarva Prashasita, he is being commanded by Arjuna. So that's what is meant here by this. So that part of the Bhashya, having seen that, the next part of the shlokas, 24 and half of 25 has got a separate Bhashya. The shloka 24 is Sanjaya Uvacha Evamuktah Rishikeshah Gudakeshena Bharata Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Sthapayitva Rathottamam. And Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarveshancha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. These are the two shlokas. In this, the Bhashya for Evamukto Hrishikeshah Gudakeshena Bharata Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Thapayitva Rathottamam Bhishma Drona Pramukhatah Sarveshancha Mahikshitam. The Bhashya for this part of the shloka is Sacha Tena Choditaha Tat Kshanadeva Bhishma Dronadinam Sarveshameva Mahikshitam Pashyatam Yatha Choditam Akarot Evamuktaha Hrishikeshah. So though such he was ordered like this, but Gudakeshena. Gudaka is Nidra. One is Rishikesha, another is Gudakesha. Krishna and Arjuna. Rishikesha is one is controlling all the Indriyas. Rishika is Indriyas. Gudaka is Nidra. Gudakesha is one who was one over Nidra. Arjuna is called Gudakesha here. Senayoho Ubhayoho Madhye. In a proper place where he can see everyone. Thapayitva Rathottamam. That Mahatisyandane Sthito, that Uttama Ratha, he positioned it there. Bhishma Drona Pramukhataha Sarveshan Jamahikshitam. All the kings who are there, starting with Bhishma and Drona and all these people. So the Bhashya says, Sachate Choditaha, having been ordered by him like that, Tat Kshanadeva, without a delay of one Kshana also, Bhishma Drona Dinam Sarveshameva Mahikshitam. The moment he was ordered, he ordered him, he positioned the chariot there. There was no delay between Arjuna ordering and Krishna positioning the chariot. Tat Kshanadeva, Bhashya says, Bhishma Dronadinam Sarveshameva Mahikshitam Pashyatam. All the kings, when you are seeing, as they were all witnessing that, Yatha Choditam Akarat. Bhashikara keeps using the word Chodita here, that to show, to highlight the Ashrita Vatsalya of Krishna. So, Yatha Choditam Akarot, as ordered, he did. So, Tatchana Deva. And Pramukhataha, the meaning of Pramukhataha is given as Bhishma Drona Adinam. Adinam. That is, and Chakara, Sarvesham Cha Mahikshitam. That Chakara is used here in Avadharanartha. Sarvesham Eva Mahikshitam. So that is actually, so shows the Sarvesham is actually, the usage is also, is in the Shashti, it says Anadare Shashti. That is Pashyatam, Sarveshameva Mahikshitam Pashyatam. They were all seeing, and did some kind of they were all just seeing, all of them were witnessing. Pramukhata may also mean Agrataha, in front. Chakara is in that way used Samuchayartha. So in Bhashya, Eva is also in that meaning only, Samuchayartha. That is all of them put together, and all the kings put together, Bhishma, Drona and everybody else, as they were all witnessing, Krishna did exactly what was ordered by Arjuna. And Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. So for this, the Bhashya says, Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan. Krishna told Arjuna, Pashya Partha Pashyaitan. See all of them, Samavetan Kurun. All those who have come and assembled here, all these Kurus, see them, Pashya, he said. So for that the Bhashya is very nicely given. Idrishi Bhavadiyanam Vijayasthitihi iti cha avochat. Sanjaya tells Dhritarashtra, Idrishi Bhavadiyanam Vijayasthitihi iti cha avochat. This is what Sanjaya tells is. So that is what Bhashikara is telling us, that Sanjaya told Dhritarashtra. This is what he meant. So Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Sanjaya's reply to the question that this is the state of your sons with respect to winning. Or it may also mean that this is the state brought by the evil doings of your own sons. That is their own, Dhartarashtra Kartrika. That is all by their own evil doings, your sons have come to this state, is what actually Sanjaya is meaning. Bhavadiyanam Vijayasthitihi. The word Vijaya here is used in Aswarasya. It is not winning. Bhavadiyanam Idrishi Vijayasthitihi means they are actually losing. This is the state of winning, means they are actually losing, is the meaning there. So here Deshika makes a very nice observation with respect to Bhavadiyanam. In in the Mula Shloka, Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. Krishna is addressing Arjuna here. So Krishna told Arjuna, this is your state of winning. Pashyaitan Samavetan Kurun. Pashya Partha. See all these people coming here. This is your state of Bhavatam. It should have been told. But here in the Bhashya it says, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra, Bhavadiyanam. What Krishna told Arjuna, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra. The implication, the meaning, inner meaning of that this is your son's state of winning, is what he is telling. So the earlier Bhashya, how is this justified? In Tatparya Chandrika we can see that the beauty of rAmAnuja explained by Deshika here very nicely. But the earlier Bhashya was Bhavat Putranam Hrudayani Bibheda, is what Sanjaya told. And the next part of the Bhashya says Hanishyamanam Bhavadiyan Vilokya. So which is going to come next. So here it is also Bhavadiyanam. So all the places we can see that Sanjaya, what he is telling to Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra had asked Sanjaya, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya, with an inner desire that he will say his sons are winning. The same way, Sanjaya replied with an inner meaning that his sons' hearts were pierced, Hridaya Vidarana. And now indicated by the Bhashya, Idrishi Bhavadiyanam Vijayasthitihi. So he is also implying indirectly that what you asked me, that Kima Kurvata, look at this, this is the state of all your sons. So Sanjaya also he does not want to give him directly his opinion that there is definitely going to lose, but he gives indirectly, this is the state of your sons, so you can conclude what is going to happen, as though giving a hint that they have already lost the war, kind of thing. So that is how the Bhashya, though why I went into little detail in this part is to understand the beauty of rAmAnuja Bhashya. Every single word in the Bhashya is filled with a lot of Vishesharthas, and if you enjoy that, this is the Kavya and Sahitya part of it, more like a story part of it, though there is no Siddhanta. The beauty of the words that Bhashikara uses, every word, we can enjoy in this part of the thing, and in the next Adhyaya, all the Tattva and all is going to start. So then the next part of the Bhashya is for shlokas 26 to 47, that is till the end of the chapter, end of the first Adhyaya. That I think we shall take in the next class. We have come to the end of the class. So I shall conclude the session here, and thanking you all. Shall leave the class open for any question answer session. Thank you.
धन्यवाद स्वामी.
धन्यवाद. So if there are no questions, we shall conclude the session. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, you may always send me through email later also. Thank you very much.